So in science right now, we're learning about stoichiometry, and an extra credit project that my teacher assigned is to make a mole. And some people are making them out of like fabric and stuffing them with like popcorn kernels or something like that. But I decided I'm gonna make a wood one. So these measurements are just estimated. They don't have to be perfect. So you see I'll have 3 plates with the feet right there, and then a cute little head, and then a dowel for a nose, and then some sort of tail, but I'm not quite sure. So that'll come up when I'm done the body of the mole. So I'll have 3 of these plates, 2 of these squares, and then 4 of these pieces that are going to be used for the feet. And then what I didn't show in the picture is I'm going to sand that area off. So it's kind of like a little butt. So let's get started. So I was rummaging through my scraps. Now that's a throwaway pile, but I was over there looking in my scraps, and I did find a piece that was 1/4 of an inch. Not a quarter, 3/4 of an inch, and that's what the feet call for. And I'll just measure to show you guys. It's a little bit under, but that's fine. As I said before, this is just loosely estimated. So this piece should be good for feet. I just need to cut it down to 1.5 inches. So I have a stop block set up to cut these to 1.5 inches. And I'll just cut out 4, maybe 5 in case I mess up. So now we have 5 mole feet. And if I don't mess up, one of these might end up being the tail. The plans now call for 2 squares that are 2 by 2, and I have this piece of pallet wood that's about 3 inches. So I'll set the fence, cut off a little gross part of it. You see all this gross? Cut that, flip it, set it to 2, run the clean side against the fence, and I'll have a piece that's 2 inches wide. The stop block is now set to 2 inches, and you can double check by placing the 2-inch wide board between the blade and the stop block. So now I'll make 2 squares. 2 squares, and I couldn't make a 3rd spare one just in case because the board is broken. So I have one piece of wood here that measures to be about 23 inches by about 3 1/4. So once again, take it to the table saw, cut off a gross side like this one, flip it, set the fence to 3 or so, and make the cut. I'm just going to cut the gross part off of this piece of wood. Now everything's nice and flat, so I shall mark 5 inches right about here. Okay, put this like so, just like that. Take the stop block, butt it up against it, take a clamp it down, and then make the 3 cuts. So now I have the body pieces, and now I'm going to assemble it or sand it. Yeah, I'll probably sand it. So here's what the pieces look like before sanding. All gross. And then this is what the pieces look like after sanding. I'm going to sand that piece, and then we can start to assemble. So I've determined that this piece looks the best and this piece looks the best because these both have these circle drills on them. So I'm going to sandwich this one in between like so and glue them all together. Now I'm going to glue the head together. Now I'll let this dry. So I'm going to give this a quick sand and round off the corners a little bit. So you get the general idea. We're just going to have a little curve down. So the head's together, and I gave it a little sand on the edges and rounded the corners off. And I also took this to the bandsaw and cut this part off so it's more of an angle, which is what I was looking for, and then I sanded it again. So now I'm going to plan out where I'm going to put the holes for the face. So I'm just going to drill a 1/4. So these will be the eyes, and then that's going to be the nose. And I'm going to go cut the dowel now. So I'll just put a little bit of glue on the dowel. Okay. And starting to look like a little mole face. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll attach the feet to the body, and then the head to the body. So now I'm just going to attach the feet to the body. So I'll let that dry for a little bit, and then I will put a couple brad nails in just for extra strength. Now I'm just going to attach the head. I'm going to put Avogadro's number on the back of the mole. And I'm going to try to carve it out with this Dremel tool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but yeah, there we go. 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. So I've masked off the areas around the number. I'm just going to give it a quick spray. Okay, I'll just take the masking tape off, just where I wanted it. Now I'm going to give this a quick sand, and you'll see what will happen. So I accidentally knocked the tail off, so I'll just glue it back up. So I'm just going to give him a quick stain.
Okay.
Now, just gonna let him dry and then I'll be done. So the mole is done drying, and the face is dark, and the eyes, they're nice and bright. Doesn't really show up on camera, but there's Avogadro's number. I think it came out pretty well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.